What's good, beautiful people? Welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I am under the weather. I am COVID positive. I guess I had a little more than the flu. So apologies if my voice sounds scratchy. I promise normally it's a beautiful, feminine, light voice that you would love to wake you up out your sleep. But this week, I'm going to just sound like a hobo that's been drinking too much. Homeless, not toothless is how I'll sound. Let's welcome in James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel.
You a mess. Hey, everybody, like, comment, and subscribe to my girl's channel. She has great content, and we have a lot of shows up and coming. So make sure you subscribe and like the video. Get that algorithm going for her because she definitely deserves it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. If you're subscribing to me, you should also subscribe to James. We do stuff on each other's channel. He also does other content such as updates videos. He reads his book occasionally on live. He does a lot of things that I think any creative would enjoy. So check out the link to his channel in the description of the video. It's the first thing you see and the only link in there. But we do appreciate everybody for being here. We're here to go over the foolery that is love in hip hop Miami. This episode was titled Heaven is a Place on Earth.
Wow. I just got the reference. Wow. I didn't even think about that. Wow.
Because we're watching it. I don't look at the title, y'all. I look at the title before I make the live. Now, like reading it, brain clicked. Wow. Anywho, this was season 6, episode 22. This is the third to last episode because they were advertising. They were advertising during the commercial breaks of this episode that I guess there'll be 2 more left before the season finale. I was confused. So the season finale is coming. Thank God. But we know that they're not going to have a reunion. So I don't know how exciting that is. But the episode starts out with Bobby basically complaining. He was supposed to be planning this trip for peace. We know that's some BS. This cast and peace do not go hand in hand. Hi, Shani. Welcome in. She said, what up, twin? You got your man voice going on. How Martin said it to stand up. Good morning to you. That's the truth. I don't know what's going on. Like, I had a sore throat that went away. I had body aches that went away, but I still I can't do much without getting tired. Like, that's what made me test for COVID because I was like, I just feel defeated. But this too shall pass, right? This too shall pass. At least I won't miss James' wedding on my birthday. That's all I really care about. But Shay and Fabo were hollering all night long. I think everybody is sick of them and their drama. Oh, she missed you, James.
That's okay. We missed you as well, Shane, but that's all right. Just watch the playback for me, like the video as you always do, and we appreciate you nonetheless. And sometimes rest is absolutely necessary after work, so I completely get it.
Because these jobs be thinking that we could just do everything for a small amount of pay. Just saying. But Shay and Fabo were hollering all night, and we thank you. I appreciate you, Shandy. Trick Daddy feel like he need to talk to Alan. And I'm kind of like, okay, I'm not surprised that Shay and Fabo were hollering because she's a professional yeller. This is what she does. She hollers. So I'm not surprised about that. But Trick Daddy, why do you feel like you need to talk to Alan? I don't get it. But I did think it was funny because even Trick Daddy could see Amara like that got bad taste in men. He said that's why she never talked to him. I said, Trick, now let me tell you this. She does have bad taste in men. We know that. However, that doesn't mean that you are the better taste. That's not what that means. Nobody, let me tell you, don't nobody want Trick but Joy. And Joy don't even want Trick. Not much happened. At any point, if you want to speak on it, James, just interrupt me because this episode was weird. So, yeah, we're going to be all over the place. I don't know what they're doing. This is not a strong finish, Love and Hip Hop. So, Bobby is upset that Trina and her husband Swerve They said they tired of all the fighting. They tired of the BS. They said it's not fun to just be hearing people holler, and they want to go home, as they should. This is the one time, even though I don't like Trina, and it's very clear that Trina serves no purpose on this cast anymore because she barely filmed with them. Anytime they act up, she want to leave. I don't blame her though. This Curacao trip has been chaos. Chaos. How dare these people go to these people's nice island and act the way that they have acted? So I don't blame Trina for wanting to leave, but Bobby gets mad about this. And I'm going to pause right here before I move forward. James, do you have anything to add for any of what I just said leading up to?
We can move on.
Okay, see, I thought it was me, y'all. Sometimes I'll be trying to take the notes for the episode to go over, like, what can we talk about on the live? And then when I'm taking the notes, I'm like, oh, damn, nothing happened. Nothing happened.
That first part was just silly, and the last part was just crazy. So, just go in and do it how you do it.
I'm doing the best I can, child. Now, Gael and Florence, they have a moment. This is the next day. They go, it looked like they was doing yoga. They kept saying working out, but the way Flo's belly is, I know that she doesn't work out often. She probably eat more than she work out, and that's okay. But they're doing some yoga together, and I guess they both appreciate the fact that no matter what they go through, they both defend each other. Just toxic. But Gael says that she has no beef with Flo and they make peace. Gael says that her only issue with Flo is the sugar daddy. So the only reason I mention that is because it basically confirmed that Flo has a sugar daddy, which James had clocked a long time ago before it ever even came up.
I sure did. I want my brownie points because I said this.
You did. If the family knows about it, I'm sure Marlon knows about it.
I'm sure. No, I don't think the family knew about it. I knew Marlon knew about it because to me, he gives me the type that will be fine with it because it's giving him the lavish lifestyle he wants. Let me tell y'all something. In Miami, the house that Flo lives in, there's no way she can get it on this salary from VH1. Absolutely no way. Her career, absolutely no way. I don't believe she makes that kind of money. I don't. Let me explain something to you. I give Flo that she probably make about $300,000 to $400,000 a year between the show and her music. And that's about it. That is not enough money to live in that kind of house in Miami. It is no way possible. Flo would have to be making close to 7 figures to maintain that kind of house. So it only made sense. And they're out there in Miami. Trust me, there are plenty of sugar daddies that don't even require that much. That's why everyone has them. Everyone does. Look at Estelita. Come on. They're out there. Trust me. So it was not hard for me to believe. And I said it because it's the only thing that made sense to me of how she's living the way she's living. There's no other way that she could afford that. And I'm not saying there's no other way because she could, work hard and actually fix her attitude and use the show to her advantage, but she doesn't do that. She's too focused on her drama and getting back at people. So she really in her own way because she could have that lifestyle, but she chooses not to, and this is the way out.
So, yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. That is the truth, y'all. I mean, I'm sick of them. I'm sick of their drama. If y'all just gonna do these horrible things to each other and make up, that it's not interesting. So these two make peace because we know that's what they do. This is how they family operate. But Pinky Doll comes. I'm really tired of her braids. They are slipping. They're slipping. And it has nothing to do with hair texture. Whoever put them braids in her hair just didn't do it right. It looked like she might have just tried to crochet them in her head on her own over some old, little straight backs under the wigs. I don't know what's going on, but Pinky Doll's braids is irritating me, y'all. They make my teeth itch. And for those who don't know, go check out my IG or ask James. I'm always in some braids. They should never slip.
In the almost 20 years that I've known Mrs. Betshaw, I have never seen her without braids. I don't know what her real hair looks like. I don't know anything about it. And as I said, I've known her since she was in high school. Never seen her without braids. So that goes to show you how often she has them. And I ain't mad at her because she keep them up. She keep them up. She keep them up and they fresh and they, they don't never look out of place. They look great. But I've never seen her without them.
I'm just saying, everybody has their hair preferences. If you're gonna do it, just do it right. Take care of your hair, because people be thinking braids is a protective style. You got to take them out. You got to let your hair breathe. And when they get to slipping and hanging, take it out your hair. That's tension. But moving on from our little beauty school segment, Shanny says, slip and slide and can't get up. Yo, I'm slipping and sliding. I cannot. I cannot. Now, Pinky basically comes, and Gael says that she wants to talk with Pinky's sister, who goes by the name of Madonna. Pinky, the only thing I'm gonna say about this scene is Pinky was real quick to try and stop it. She's like, "Nah, wait, I don't think you should talk to her. I don't think you should talk to her. Of course not. Because if she talks to them, then she'll figure out the truth, because there's one side, another side, and the middle side." So
I said the same thing. I said, why not? Why they can't talk? Right. What's the problem?
This did not help you, Pinky Doll. You can tell, like, the way this episode ended, it seems like they're trying to make Pinky Doll and her sister kind of like Flo and Gael's little part 2 of them, the less evil version. We shall see.
You know what? And honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. To me, when we get to that point, I honestly thought they were worse.
Yeah,
I did. I honestly thought they were worse than Flo and Gael. I did. So
they were. They were. We're gonna have a talk, because I agree with you there. I definitely agree with you there. But it's like VH1, there are other concepts. Do better. Now, Amara's dumbass decides that she wants Shay to forgive Fabo. So she arranges for them to talk on the beach. And what I didn't like about this is you got to be careful. Y'all really got to pay attention to that saying, misery loves company. And Amara is the prime example of that. One of many. Because in Amara's mind, she says that because her and Alan worked things out, that means that Shay and Fabo could work things out. You should never assume that, because let's say at one point me and my husband, we was beefing real bad, put him out. Just because me and him worked it out, anybody else would be foolish to just stay with somebody because they think their situation will work out the way ours did. You can't compare relationships and things of that nature to other people. That's like putting the nail in the coffin. That's not a good thing to do. You just don't do that. So Amara, just because it worked out with your situation, which it hasn't, that man is still married. He still has not confirmed that he will leave his wife. All he's saying is he wants to control the situation more. Amara is dumb. So she gets Faye to talk. She wants Shay to forgive Fabo. And in the midst of that, before they could talk, Amara is talking about how she feels like MJ should move on, which I agree that MJ should move on. It's been years. She's had a baby by somebody else, and we see her for who she is. It seems like MJ's still mad because he wants to get her back. It seems more of a competitive thing, but he does need to move on. But Amara also needs to realize that she's wrong. And it's like, it's easier to move on when you're accountable, but she doesn't want it to look like a bad thing because now she has kids with this person, but you shouldn't have the kids with the person. So Fabo comes out and Shay asks Fabo and all of these things, about, what's going on with his life and all these different things. And it was just a hot mess. Basically, everything went to shit. I don't even know how to explain the foolery. Somewhere in there, Amara basically makes a stupid comment about Alan, saying that she's not concerned about the wife because he has never lived with the wife. And it doesn't matter because he's in Curacao with her right now. And I'm just like, this girl is not going to get it. She really, do you know what I mean, James? Do you ever just lose breath because she's not going to get it?
She's not going to get it. And then also, this makes her look even worse. Because I don't believe for a second that Alan don't live with his wife. I don't believe that. Now, I do believe he ain't home all the time. I do believe that, absolutely. But you're not going to tell me that this man don't live with his wife. You're just not going to tell me that. Like that, there's no way. Now, yes, the outside part, absolutely. I believe he all outdoors. He wide and all outside. I'm pretty sure. But nah, I'm not going to go for that. Y'all is sitting up here and y'all playing, and this wife, when it comes, I wish Dominican Republic was like America and have the wife just tally up them points. So when she serves as the divorce paper, she could just play the TV real quick to the judge and be like, well, look what he do. This is why I'm divorcing, man. I want 75% of everything.
Here's the thing of it. Keep your legs closed, as Shani says to married men. Thank you, Nene Leaks, as well. It's becoming like almost like a reality TV staple to have somebody on here who's dealing with somebody who's married. There's nothing Amara can say to any of us that's going to make us not believe that she's dingbat. I feel like she's a lost cause.
Me
you
too.
Could be as pretty comes and dumber than bricks. So,
and it's the fact that she continues to want to push this relationship forward. It's like, ma'am, what don't you get? Like, he could he ha ha and tee in your face all he want to. That man still belongs legally in his country to somebody else. He does not belong to you. He ain't never said, I'm leaving my wife. I filed the papers.
And he will never say it. He never gonna say it. Because the moment he says that, he loses the power in the situation. And I think also a piece of him is somewhat of a narcissist. He ain't gonna let go of no power.
Yeah, and she's so damn stupid. It's like, I just don't, whatever she gets, she deserves. And I usually do not say that, y'all. And I promise you, I usually do not say that because I feel like nobody deserves to be treated like secondhand trash. I do not believe that. But at the end of the day, she continues to put herself in the arms of this man and in the way of his path. And she gonna get burned every time. And then she cries to the world talking about we're all miserable, single. I know she was talking about the cast, but she was talking about the world too. But you know, and I feel like, ma'am, you in our face on reality TV trying to push a storyline so you can have our viewership so it puts money in your pocket. This is a two-way street. This is not just because we're nosy and want to invade and we thought, oh, let's look at what Amara has going on today. We're not that interested. You're on TV and you depend on the viewership to keep this check coming, right? So you can go to hell with that comment.
Yep. I agree. Apologies, y'all. Getting over a cold and now the coughing and all that crazy stuff is coming. Apologies. Now we go from stupid to more stupid because Fabo comes out and they get to talking, and I'm just disgusted with the fact that Amara is trying to fix things without really. You could tell that her and Shay were not the closest friends and are not the closest friends. You don't get involved in other people's relationship, even if you are the closest friends to that person. I just feel like that's a boundary you should respect with your friends. And Shay and Fabo get to talking, and basically it comes out that Fabo wanted Shay to have an abortion. He asked her to have an abortion when she was pregnant with her daughter Jaya twice. And basically, he didn't want the baby. So Shay's fighting for a family that this man never wanted. I don't think. Here's the thing. I can't fault him for asking her to have an abortion because they weren't really in a relationship. They just dealt with each other on and off for years and years and years. It sounds like he was never faithful at any attempt that they had it being in a relationship. It just seems like Shay thought this baby would change stuff and felt like she was running out of time because her response, I'm going to keep my baby, because we know due to her fibroids and some other things that she didn't think she could get pregnant. So I can understand her wanting to keep the baby. However, I can also understand why Fabo would ask her to have an abortion. What I don't understand is once a man asks you to have an abortion and you choose to keep that child, to expect for him to be anything other than just the financial part, if he does that, which it sounds like he doesn't, is baffling. He showed you he did not want a family with you. He showed you he did not want you before the baby came, while you were pregnant, and all of these crazy things. So I understand that, like, as a woman, how that can make you upset. But I also feel like as a woman, we should hold each other accountable. And Shay, why would you even put yourself in the predicament to be letting that nigga hit raw doggy if you wasn't really with him like that? And if you've known for 10 years on and off that he talks to other women, So I get where Shay's anger is coming from, but when people show you who they are, believe them. And Fabo, it sounds like, showed her things, and she still chose to go back and hope for a different result. But Shay got mad. She ended up bopping his ass over the head with something. Security had to come and, separate them and all of that. And Amada gets on my nerves because after Shay's carried off, Amada stays there and talks to Fabo, and it's like, I can feel the love between you two. Bitch, that what you feel.
Of course you can. Of course you can. Like, of course that's love. Of course, that looks like love. No.
He got bopped over his head. And that's
right. What part of that is love? You damn nitwit. Ooh. She worked my nerves. It's just I forgot she said that in the scene, y'all. I'm sorry. I forgot she said that in the scene. Omar, what part of that is love? The fact that she just imposed physical violence because she lost all of her composure. And just and just completely just say, you know what, I'm gonna choose violence and impose physical harm. What part of that is love? I just really want to know.
I hope that nobody watching this actually watches this and mirrors or mimics whatever word or verbiage you want to use. Please do not watch this and think that this is a good or realistic example of situations. Like, people go through things, yes, but shit like this has to stop. It's too much. It's too much.
Shit like this needs to stop.
Shay is complaining and yelling at him also, and you don't pay bills, you don't do that, you haven't asked about the baby. Girl, he didn't pay no bills, but you let him hit it like he was. Like, at some point, I have to stop and hold these people accountable. People do what you allow them to do to you. That's my firm belief. Sometimes people will do things you don't allow and can't control, but once it happens, going forward, you allow the things that you deal with. And Shay dealt with this for so long, and now suddenly she wants to be angry. Now he don't even want to deal with you and can't even see that he's sorry because you yell so loud and you done bopped his head over the head with something. So I just cannot with Shay. Do you have anything to add before we move on?
No, I'm glad that Bucky is really just being Bucky on TV as she always is. She'll never change. And Bucky, what happened to that man? I'm just curious. Is it over already?
Nasty Mikey at home with her mama.
You better watch out.
Right, Cassandra was smiling.
I don't put it past mama. Hell, I'll be on a revenge plot too. My husband cheated on me all them damn times. But that's neither here nor there. Let me stop. Because I like Sandra. I do.
I like Sandra. She tries. And for a lot of older Black women, that's a lot. So I give her that. Now, y'all, we have to deal with some more foolery because Trick Daddy goes to meet with Alan, Amada's baby daddy. And while meeting, he mentions to Alan that he has experience in being labeled the bad guy. Trick, you the bad guy because you act like the bad guy. The stuff that you say, you like to put your legs up in the air so people can eat at your nether regions. You talk to Joy like she crazy. Sound like you was acting a fool in your marriage. You don't seem to have respect for women at all. You said Beyonce can't sing. Trick, your hate is earned. It is earned. But he says he's been labeled the bad guy, and he feels like Alan also has been labeled the bad guy. Now, Trick also says he feels if Amada is okay with dating a married man, then the rest of us should just be quiet. And he feels like Amada more so has a problem with how other people feel in their comments versus the situation. Now, I don't like Trick. He does look like the Mucinex monster. However, what he said was not a lie, and I actually thought that was the best thing that anybody could say, because all these people flipping out, and we know they're doing it probably because they want to have a show, but I know people and got friends in real life who be dating people they shouldn't date or people who belong to other people. I distance myself from them and let them do them. Because at the end of the day, if they're okay with it, there's nothing that I can do. And I'm also too busy, too tired, and overworked to be putting extra energy into trying to convince somebody that something is not good for them. They have to see that themselves. Some people might say that's shady. Some people may feel it makes me a bad friend. I could give a flying fuck, but I got my own shit. I don't have time to be getting in other people's business. So it is odd that this cast is like begging Amara to not be with Alan, begging Amara to stop dealing with him. Everybody's so emotionally invested in it. And if Amara wants to look like a damn fool, or if this is what she thinks that is the best that she can do, then I say fucking let her. Right?
I'm just gonna say, when the shit get fucked up, don't pick up the phone.
Right.
Like,
let her cry tears alone.
Okay, just let her go to voicemail. When shit get fucked up, let her go to voicemail. Like, that's all I'm saying.
About it, if she get mad about it, say because when I tried to tell you about that nigga before, you got mad at me. Listen, you
exactly. Y'all got to learn how to give people the same shit they give you at times. She's saying, mind your business, get out my face, do all this, do exactly what she tell you to do. But then when the phone ring, it's like, oh my God, I did that. Well, you know what? Good for you. That's what you get. I ain't got nothing to say to you. Goodbye.
She asked and she received.
Okay, because what am I supposed to do? You told me to stay out of it. You told me mind my business. You told me I'm single and miserable. So yeah,
let her live in her own business. Let her be in her own land of delusion. She's created this fabulous land for herself, and I think that she should be allowed to enjoy her delusions. So let her.
I agree.
Let her. Sometimes too, in mental health, some people want to trip out. You gotta let them sit in their delusions for a little bit till they see they're not good for themselves. Then they'll come to you wanting help. You just have to. Amara is that. So Trick Daddy asks Alan if he's done with his marriage and what's going on with that situation. And he says, I'm going to take control of that situation. Alan is not stupid. It's very simple. Are you still married or not? It's a yes or no question. My husband walked in. If I ask him, are you married? It's going to be a yes. It's not going to be pause or let me think about that. Either you are or you aren't. Like, what are you doing? It's a yes or no question, Alan. So he was very tricky with answering that. It's just one of those things where I feel like he just wants to have control and doesn't want anyone to have a say. So how'd you feel about their talk as a whole? Because they didn't really talk about nothing else.
No, they didn't talk about nothing. So let's move on.
Yeah. James said, I'm not giving it to them. Both of these men are weird. I think we could say that. Now, MJ and Amara, they are the next talk that we have to talk about. And essentially, MJ is mad that Alan swept in and slept with Amara. And, Amara tries to check MJ about his behavior. And she's upset that MJ mentioned borrowing money from Alan in the Dominican Republic. And MJ explains, like, Alan brought that up. I brought it up to mention, like, I paid him back. And she's mad that MJ's even talking about her. But MJ did not bring that up. Alan did, but I do feel like MJ just needs to let go of the situation as a whole because this woman has moved on. She's had kids. Y'all ain't been together in years. From the looks of it, you still don't got a job. I feel like you're living with Sandra and them.
Mm-hmm.
So I like MJ was done wrong, and it comes up like Alan and MJ, I guess, weren't the closest of friends. Alan's was more so close friends with MJ's brother, who's a doctor of some sort, a PhD. And is very successful, which makes sense because I can't see MJ. Your friends usually mirror certain things about you. I can't see MJ having friends that are just gainfully employed and doing the best that they could do in their lives. Like, I cannot see MJ doing that. Usually birds of a feather. So it makes sense. And, MJ is like, regardless, it doesn't matter if we were together or not. It was wrong for you to sleep with Alan. And Amara's like, what do you want from me? And now MJ's talking about he don't want nothing from her. Just tell her you want her to admit fault. And if she admits fault, yay. If she doesn't, he has to let it go. I am so tired of the same fucking issue being discussed on this show. MJ, you look like a simp, bro. Because why are you arguing and crying over a bitch that was just a pass around chick and easy to take anyway. Because if she really cared about you, even if you were broken up, she wouldn't go deal with anybody that knows you. So
I just want him to realize, sir, I want you to understand something. Count your blessings.
Oh.
Count your blessings. Count your blessings that you didn't end up with the trash ass human being named Amada La Negra. Count your blessings that you didn't have to deal with the fact that because she's so desperate to have a man that's unavailable, because when she had an available man, she didn't want him. So count your blessings that you don't have to end up with this and that you don't have to continue to perpetuate an unstable relationship, because that's exactly what would have happened. So count your blessings. What I want you to do, sir, instead of trying to find a woman, I need you to get on your P's and Q's and actually showcase your talent and do something different with your life. Get you together so that way you ain't got to worry about women like her that are lusting over men that are unavailable. And then maybe you'll actually find the love of your life, and actually she will be of great of a value to you and to herself, because only a person who's a value to themselves can be a value to you too. So I want you to quit doing this. I want you to stop this. Okay, and this is coming from man to man. This ain't nothing about this being reality TV, us reviewing and recapping the show, because I'm sick of this narrative and I'm sick of you coming on TV looking like this. It happened. Oh well, get the fuck over it, because she wasn't gonna be what you needed her to be any fucking way. Get you together, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Not get you together, bro. Because for real, MJ, it's a bit much. She did have a point. She said to him, instead of bitching at me, put that effort into getting your shit together. It sounds like she'd be willing to deal with him again if he would just get a job.
You know what is what's crazy is he can have somebody better than her. He's not an ugly guy.
He's not.
You can have somebody better than that. But in order for you to have better than that, you need to get you together, sir. Because that's the mirror of why she's not with you.
No woman wants to be with a boy.
They gotta take care of it. It's not happening. You could say, I take care of myself. I'm not broke. Whatever you were saying in this episode, yeah. It's already been shown on the show. And it doesn't seem like much has changed. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Get you together. I don't care if you got to go work at UPS, FedEx, whatever. Get you a job, get your own shit, and then get on your P's and Q's and do, you know what, open mic night. Blue Martini let you come up there, especially if you got talent. You got crazy ass talent. So yes, go over there, Blue Martini, get you some tips. And I mean, it's so much money that could be made in Miami with I wish I had the talent he had and singing, because he's not a bad singer. He actually does pretty good. So come on. And I've seen people in Miami be mediocre. So it's like, come on.
Yeah, especially if he's so passionate about the music, then you definitely want to stop crying over a female so that we can know.
Singing gig somewhere in Miami at one of these lounges. It is very easy. I have a few friends that do it who I still keep in contact with in Miami to this day. It is very easy to do. All you got to do is audition, put it on social media. You already have a platform. You're on Love and Hip Hop, and you already sing it on Love and Hip Hop. It's nothing for them to make the connection and be like, hey, we got MJ from Love and Hip Hop, because they know that's going to be seats in the house, because they love somebody from Love and Hip Hop in Miami. So, I mean, come on. The ideas are endless, but the fact that he's so worried about Amada and what she got going on, the fact that she, quote unquote, betrayed him with this married ass man. I'm sick of this storyline. It's stupid. It's so stupid.
It is. He's getting on my nerves. But MJ, I'm gonna leave you there, and hopefully you figure it out. We don't want to hear this storyline no more. We just don't. Now we get to some more foolery, because Madonna talks with Gael, and when she came in, I said, Madonna, why did you put on that wig? The wig did. She needs a makeup artist.
I was mad at the outfit.
I was mad at everything. The outfit, they're trying to dress like their bodies are not for the way that they're trying to dress. And that nothing's wrong with it, but just, I can't. She's doing too much. The wig was terrible. It was a whole different color. You could see the wig glue in the line. It was just a whole different color. It was terrible. But it's her first season, so she get a little bit of a pass. But yeah, Madonna talks.
She a guest.
God, that's true. Barely a guess. Now, Madonna's Peaky Doll sister, for those who needed a reminder, but She tells Gael that Pinky Doll and her were never close coming up, which I believe. I genuinely believe it, especially with how calm the rest of the family seemed and dealing with it. I believe it. She says that Pinky Doll and her were never close. She goes as far to describe it as when she was in high school, she dealt with bullying, which I think a lot of us have dealt with, some worse than others. But when she was bullied, you know, I'm the oldest of my siblings, and when my siblings got to Mount Eden, it got to a point sometimes where they wouldn't let me in Mount Eden or be like, Amina, we're not letting you in here because we know what you're going to do. Because if anybody played with them, I'm coming up. When they was going to middle school, I would figure out who had a sibling in my high school and tag that ass if they was bothering my sibling. So, you know, most older siblings, I think, will protect or look out for our siblings, especially when it comes to things like bullying. Madonna says that Pinky Doll joined in on the bullying and basically did not protect or support her sister through the situation. She says she sided with the bullies. Now, I'm like, well, that's terrible. Maybe you got some, you know, unresolved anger or things you need to work past. But then she continues and she says that she got a boyfriend when she was in high school and she introduced the boyfriend to Pinky Doll. She says after introducing the little boy to Pinky Doll, shortly thereafter, she caught Pinky Doll having sex with her boyfriend in her bed because they shared a room, but I guess they did it in her bed. Now, Pinky Doll went on to live with this boyfriend and even went as far to have a baby with him. Let me tell you this. I don't think this girl is lying about that.
No, I didn't question it at all. It sounds about right. It sounds exactly about right. That looked like the most vengeful thing she can do. Because when you think of the parallel, so let's just say we believe the story that Madonna is saying about how the popcorn thing was her idea, how the rapping thing was her idea first, and how growing up she is prettier. I'm sorry. I have to say that about comparing siblings, but she is prettier. So I could see in hindsight her getting a lot of the attention, her getting a lot of the opportunities that were in place in the now. And then Pinky Doll feeling like, well, damn, like when is it my turn? When is it my turn? I'm gonna do the same shit. And I know I'm better than having that mentality. So I could see how her being in that, you know, predicament, doing things, emulating her sister, and then her getting discovered first. And now that takes away the chance of her sister, and then it constantly being a battle. You took my boyfriend, you took my career, you took my chances. But this is also, once again, Madonna, this was your opportunity to get behind the fourth wall and say, hey, look, I'm finna start some shit with her, or I'm finna be with this producer, or I'm finna sing at this showcase. Invite her and invite me. I'm finna show y'all who the real talent is. This is the opportunity that you don't realize you have, because you so mad at your sister, you blocking your blessings. You don't even realize you're doing that. And that's what I'm saying. And that's why I feel like it's so indoctrinated in her mind to be so angry at her sister that she doesn't recognize what's in front of her, because she's too busy looking at back to see all of the glorified. But let me tell y'all something, all that shit comes with a price, because now look at her, she eating hot dogs to keep herself afloat. That's not what you want to be doing, Madonna. So
saying. And nobody respects her as an artist. Nobody respects the work that she does. Nobody recognizes or sees any talent.
So she getting her karma. She getting her. It may not look like it, Madonna. It may not look like she not getting her karma and her just due, but believe me, she digging a hole so far with her fucking tongue that you don't want to sink with her. So let her go ahead and do it, because she gonna fall on her own sword. She really is. She already halfway there. Like her, the tip of her tongue is right on the damn sword. So she gonna fall on it. Best believe it. And you don't want to be in the crossfire. So let her. People gonna see who she really is. People are already seeing it. But it doesn't help when you come off just as angry. It doesn't help, because then you look just as bitter and you look just as problematic as she does.
And the thing of it is, if we just hear what she did, everybody would feel for you. That's really what got people on Flo's side when she came on the show. Because when we first learned about what was happening with Gael, she was acting innocent, quieter. Sometimes silence is stronger than we could even ever imagine. So I hope that she figures that out. But, you know, I do understand the anger to have to look in the face of your, even looking at her nephew, Pinky's son, is probably difficult because she may feel that could be her son, but it makes sense. It does make sense because Pinky Doll, ain't no way in hell somebody just gonna feel like you stole their dream and just end a relationship off that. Most people just keep grinding, keep making music and going, which Madonna's doing. So it let me know there had to be more. But the group, y'all, goes to the club. And this is where the episode really, really got even weirder. Everybody's there. Fabo comes in. Fabo goes and he sits by Alan and Amada, which was a little weird. Flo's nearby. Flo done talk to Alan. Flo done talk to Fabo a little bit. Flo done talk to everybody. And Gael says she's not going to go and talk to him because Gael, in her mind, she says that she wants to bring Fabo on the trip so he could talk to Shay and work out their co-parenting issues so that she can date Fabo. I said, Gael, when you gonna get it? These men don't want you. They deal with you when they in the doghouse with their girls and the rest of the world don't like them. You the only one that'll give them play sometimes. Come on, Gael. It's crazy that she does not see that, but she says she's going to avoid him, but she doesn't last long, y'all. She goes over and sits next to Fabo, and she says that she misses him. And he responds by asking her why she's trying to cause problems. And I said, Gael, he even sent your ass a sign to say, get the fuck away from me, without actually saying, get the fuck away from me. And what does she do? She sat there and acted oblivious to it all. And then Flo starts yelling, and Gael, why are you doing that? You supposed to be changed. Leave that man alone. If Shay come here, she gonna flip out. Leave that man alone. Gael ain't gonna change. We know that. But I was just baffled that she would even think that Fabo would want her. I'm not saying that Gael's unattractive. After seeing her on the plane with no makeup, she looks less puggish. Her makeup artist should be fired. That's what it seems. And she needs to be natural. Some women just don't look good with all that extra bought stuff. And I think Gael's one of them.
To dress for her age, Gael. We know you about 45. So I want you to dress like that. I want you to look like that. I'm tired of you coming up over here looking like you're trying to be 21 again. That is not the business. I want you to dress for your age and what's appropriate for your age. And then also, yeah, because she's not, you know what? I give Gael a lot of shit on this show. I do. Because she just crazy. But she's not ugly. Flo isn't either. But what I'm going to say about this is that I want her to stop. I don't know what it is about you Miami women. Stop going after men that ain't available. Just stop it. Go after men that are available and for you. You would do a lot better because there's nothing that Fabo can give you that he ain't already given to the next one. So please, just do yourself a favor and stop embarrassing yourself on national TV. Thank you.
Please. We beg. We freaking beg. Lord help.
Yes.
But yeah, Fabo pretty much ain't interested. She ends up, walking away. But everybody else gets upset. And Hot Topic then mentions how Fabo flirted with her. I don't believe her.
I don't either.
Like, it didn't even sound like...
Because, first of all, if he did that, ma'am, you would have been exposed that. You would have been exposed that right when it happened. I don't bit more. And of course, she said it was off camera. Well, that would have came up. You wasn't that damn focused on Trina and Swerve that you would not have brought that up at some point to throw egg at Shay. So come on with that Hot
Topic just be saying stuff, trying to add her 2 cents, and we still don't want you here, girl. I don't think it. And all she said was like, oh, the way he touched her hand. And I've interacted with Jamaican men. They, like, different cultures will touch the hand of a female and not always in a flirting way. I've interacted with some Jamaican men and I didn't get that vibe unless I was just oblivious to the fact that they wanted this kimchi, but I didn't get that energy. So I don't...
It could have been as simple as, excuse me, I'm trying to get by. Because that's exactly what it seemed like to me. But, I'm not going to, I'm not going to go there with Hot Topic because she wants a moment to be relevant on this show. I'm not going to give her all that, but I just feel like for me, it just seemed like he probably said, excuse me, you in my way. And it was loud, probably where y'all was at. And he didn't know how else to tell your ass to move. So that's what he did. And you just took it as, oh, Y'all know how some of y'all vindictive women can be.
Hot Topic is weird though. Just like the
Yeah.
stuff that she puts energy into, it never makes sense. Put more energy into taking advantage of this platform and letting us know who the fuck you are, because your name is Hot Topic and you're not a hot topic. And I don't understand what your purpose is, what you do. You mentioned what you did one time when we first met you, and since then it's just been constant drama, constant arguing. She's the type of people I avoid in real life. Like, I don't want to be around somebody that's always into the drama, always has the scoop. I don't need that shit. Like, you keep that energy away from me. She irritates me, James, so much. She do. Can you imagine going out with her? Just draining.
No, because then I'm gonna have to watch everything she do, and then I'm not gonna have a good time. Because I could come out the bathroom with some toilet tissue on my shoe, and she ain't gonna say shit but record it. And then me and her gonna have a problem. So that's why
funny.
Yeah, I can't go out with people like her. I just can't. I can't go, no. So I can't imagine that.
Lord. But Bobby does call out Hot Topic for being in everybody's business. Thank you, Bobby. And everybody is annoyed with Gael. Gael says, I've changed, I even changed my name. And they said, what did you change your name to, Gael? It was funny how everybody got quiet. This bitch said Heaven. And when they got, I'm not gonna lie, it was funny when they recorded everybody individually in their confessionals saying, who was it? Zoe's was the funniest. She said, Gael, you know you was wrong. You playing with motherfucking God. You going straight to hell, bitch. I said, you know what?
She really is, girl. I don't know why you over here playing with people.
Nobody took Gael seriously.
Because she's so goofy and silly. It's like, oh my God. It's like,
Gael,
girl,
you know that you should be applying for your AARP card soon. And I feel like Gael, I think James is right. I think Gael like 45, 47 years old, and she done lived her life and just got her second chance. When is your son getting out, Gael? I have so many questions for Gael. Heaven, if I got to call her that to get the answers, I will. But okay. I'm tired of Gael.
Heaven, come on, watch your mouth reviews. I'll interview you.
Like, what's wrong with you? What
right.
be going through your head?
She is an interesting case study, though. I really would love it.
She's fascinating. When I talk about long-term studies, she's somebody that could make you question informed consent. She is fascinating.
She is very fascinating. I see why producers want to keep her on this show. I really do. I see why y'all would want her here, but at the same time, for those of us who understand reality TV, this gets annoying and tired after a while. So
it does.
I only can take her in doses. Like, you know what y'all should do, VH1? Just phase her in and out. Like, make her go away for like 5 episodes, then bring her in. And then make her go away for 10 episodes, and then bring her in at the last on the
kind of like y'all do Mama D.
Yeah, like where we could just get snippets of her, where it's just enough. We're like, oh, Gael, yeah, well, girl, we missed you. Not really, but we did.
I can't with Gael. She's like everyone's pet, the pet that you can't bring home that you didn't want, but now you end up keeping. That's Gael. Right. Now, Bobby gets frustrated again. He points out the drama once again. He, I guess, sitting to the left of him or his left, our right, whatever the hell, was Flo, Gael, basically all the girls in the drama. And Bobby's like, I'm tired of you hoes. And you always starting drama, and threw something and walked off. Let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck how gay you are. Don't be throwing shit at a woman. You still a man, sir.
Yeah, I didn't like
don't
that
do
at all.
Don't do that, Bobby.
I might not like Flo, y'all, but at the end of the day, she didn't deserve that. Like, if you can't handle her with your words, then you needed to get up and walk completely away and just throw your tantrum somewhere else. But you didn't have to throw that shit at her like that. That was disrespectful as hell. She's still a woman.
You looked over to them while they were minding their business, said some negative shit because you mad at Gael, and then you decide to throw something when she says something back. For the one time, and I hate you for this, Bobby, I have to defend Flo. Sitting there, and you just had to go and do that. So I'm like, why do you throw something at her? Like, let the women do that. That's not a good look, because if you hit her too hard in the head, the court gonna say you a man, that's a woman, and you done. he gets a little too comfortable sometimes being, in a group of girls, one of the girls. He gets a little too comfortable. But okay, Bobby. I wish he'd throw a tantrum about his lip injections, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let it go. Now, the drama continues because Amara then tells Alan that she spoke with MJ. Alan immediately cut it off and said that we're not gonna work. Like he was just done with her. And then she says that, what do you expect? You don't want me to talk to him, but you ain't never claimed me. So he does what all men who are toxic would do when something like this happens and turns it into something sexual. Gets in her face. I don't know if these people are acting or what. It was odd, but he gets in her face, kisses her, and then carries her off to the room. And he's still talking about putting 2 babies in her belly. Sir, you have 1 set of twins. Stop making it seem like this is just something that you do. Please. But they go off to the room. Do you have anything to add on Amara?
Just how easy and simple she is. That was terrible, but
get you a good man, Amara, and do some role play. You don't have to go through this.
No, let her go through it. I want her to go through because this is gonna blow up in her face something crazy, and you know what? I'm just gonna laugh when they do. I'm just gonna laugh because that's what she get. Because this is gonna blow up in her face. We all know this is gonna blow up in her face. This is going to look so crazy, and I just cannot wait because at the end of the day, there's something wrong with her. There's something wrong with her if she really thinks like this is the way in and the way out and the way of being. Like there is something really wrong with her. So
Mommy Anna's somewhere punching the air, mad as hell because I could tell her mama tired of her shit, but her mama gonna deal with it.
Okay, you don't have to deal with it because, lady, part of this falls on your doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people didn't want me to blame her, but I do. I'm sorry, I do. Because at the end of the day, you were her first demonstration of woman. And because you so angry at her damn father for putting you in this exact situation, you didn't teach her or give her an awareness. Instead of what you did was you just poisoned her mind. So instead of her trying to find the opposite of her father, she found the exact carbon copy.
See, that don't make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
That don't make no sense. Oh, Lord help us. But that's all that happened with the martyr and them. We gonna move on, y'all. I'm over it. So Madonna comes in and explains her beef with Pinky Doll. And Miami Tip was me. I hate when I'm finally outside and then people want to just act a plum fool. Because when the girl gets to explaining what she's mad over, Miami Tip said, these bitches arguing over a popcorn idea? That should show both of y'all right there that nobody even respects the concept or your idea. The only people who are watching that are weirdos and kids, probably. That's it. But, Gael then mentions, because she's like, don't you have more to say to your sister? And the girl is like, my idea was stolen. And Gael's like, no, you said she slept with your ex and had baby with him. And Miami Tip said in a confessional, she was like, it's wild for you to come and mention this in front of everybody. Madonna did not mention this. It was Gael.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Madonna.
I was like, Miami Tip, this is the one time I'm tell you to shut the hell up because that's not what happened.
Unless Tip saw something that we didn't see with editing, but what we saw, it looks like Madonna has been trying to protect her sister's image by not bringing it up and making it about the stolen dream. But I just didn't like that Gael pushed her to talk about it in the first place.
Here's the thing. What I want everyone to realize is that Gael asked her, like, how did this start? Like, how did this beef between you and your sister start? And she gave her a list, play by play. When I was being bullied, my sister joined in with the bullies. Then when I had a boyfriend, my sister slept with him and then proceeded to get pregnant. So she was giving her a list of things that her sister has done to her that makes her feel the way that she does. What Gael did was literally just pick one of the things out of a hat and chose to expose it. So that's not on Madonna. That's on Gael. So that's why I didn't like what Tip did, because it was like, okay, but you can't just get mad at her because Gael decided to pick one of the many things out of a hat to get Madonna to confess on national TV of why she was angry at her sister.
At the end of the day, it's wrong to sleep with anybody that's dated. I wouldn't even talk to nobody that's dated my sister or liked my
That's
sister.
ridiculous.
That's weird. Like, men will have their little nasty little fantasies, but you as siblings should avoid that. It does sound like Pinky Doll did her dirty. And if y'all pay attention, Pinky did not deny it. All she said was, you came in here and embarrassed me. But she did not deny having a baby with
She
a
can't
man that
deny that
belonged to her
because
sister.
first of all, I believed her. I believed everything Madonna said. Every single thing, no matter how ridiculous it sounded. I believed everything. Because first of all, Pinky Doll is a trash ass woman. So it wouldn't surprise me for her to do trash ass behavior. It wouldn't surprise me. So therefore, I don't begrudge Madonna for saying it to Gael, but what I do begrudge her for is not taking the opportunities that this platform could give you where you could shine just as well as your sister did. And that's what I begrudge her for, because not everybody gets these opportunities to come on national TV. Yes, you're doing it out of gripe because you have it with your sister, but I would be like, fuck my sister. I want to meet up with the cast members. If y'all want entertainment just like you got with her, you'll get the same out of me, probably even better. And try to outdo your sister on TV the same way Gael did with Flo. If we really think about it, Flo was not interesting. Flo was not interesting on the show until Gael showed up. That's when Flo got interesting, because then all the shit hit the surface. You got to pull that same move that Gael did, Madonna. You got to do that same gutter ass shit. I hate that I have to say it like that, but it's the way, because we ain't never seen Gael out of a scene with either with Flo or without Flo. Gael has made her way around this camp. So you need to do the same thing. If you want the fame, if you want people to take you seriously, and if you want the same career or even better than your sister, you got to do the same shit that Gael is doing. Show up, poke your head around the corner, be there, and and if you got to do a little messy shit, do a little messy shit. Don't go as far as deep as Gael did, because I'm not advocating for that shit. But I'm just saying you got to take advantage of the opportunity, because you're not seeing it, and I want her to see
it. Yeah, I'm over it. I want to see if Madonna takes that advice and shines, because we already know that there's some BS to Pinky Doll. Usually with social media, the ones who get famous real quick for not doing much struggle to stay afloat or are willing to do something scandalous to stay relevant. But that was all that happened with this episode. The season finale is either next week or week after next. I'm not quite sure. My personal opinion is this has been on television for way too long for one season. I'm hoping they figure it out with the cast. I don't care about the Amada beef. I'm tired of Shay and Fable's beef. Trina and her husband don't film with nobody and run off when there's drama or they have to talk about themselves. Black China's barely a part of the show. I'm sick of everybody.
I forgot she was even on the damn show.
Right. They just got her in the picture trying to draw people in, and she not even here half the time.
She ain't even here. She had 3 or 4 episodes on this whole damn season and didn't even do much on them damn episodes. So why is she even here? Because if it was for Derek Milan, then he should have been on the show. We didn't need her. I think he's relevant without her. So, I don't know. I guess. I ain't finna get stand in the way of nobody check. Get your check, Angela, Black China, whatever the fuck you want to go after. But I'm just saying, she was pointless to have on the show. She really was. She didn't do anything. We didn't see anything. I'm happy for her sobriety. She looks like she is doing well. I see her on Instagram. She looks very nutritioned out, and she looks like she is really doing the work. And I am so proud of her, even though I didn't really know much about her until the whole Kardashian situation. But I think she was a waste on the show, personally.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. All right, y'all. Well, we will leave it there. That's all that happened on this episode. I appreciate everybody for being here, especially you, James, for helping me co-host the show. I'm hoping to be better. I'm COVID positive. I'm just waiting on it to go away so I can get back to work. We'll be back on the channel tomorrow to go over the final part of the Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. We'll also be going over Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I believe The Valley airs tonight. So I'm going to do a trial, 5 episodes, and see how I feel about it. After 5 episodes, me and James will come together and decide based on views and things if we'll continue to cover the show. We'll be back on James's channel also on the weekend, right?
Yes, we'll be back on my channel on Sunday for episode 2 of Somebody's Son, and then also Love and Marriage Detroit. I don't know if I have anything up and coming that I want to talk about. I know we've had some news here lately about some of the reality TV stars. Somebody's also asked me, because a lot of the Real Housewives of Atlanta stars are doing YouTube as well, like Portia, Shamia, and Kenya all have YouTube channels now. So someone asked me about my opinion on that. I don't know if that's going to be a video that really is going to get me views, because they're doing what people should be doing. So I don't know what y'all want me to get from that, but comment on it. Tell me why you want me to give my unpopular opinion on that.
Yes, absolutely. Be sure, you guys, James's channel link is in the description of the video. It's the first thing you'll see. There's also a playlist on the channel dedicated to the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel that you guys can get there to him from there as well. But I hope everybody has a good night, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
See
ya. Adios.
Bye.